Hello, everybody. Steve Baki with the Open Door Christian Church here. Hey, we started doing something new, a little bit different online. I've had the opportunity twice in the last 2 years to visit the Holy Land with my wife. And the second time was this past February with a group largely from our church. And what we asked people to do was, would you consider doing a video testimony of how it is or where it is that you just really felt Jesus was the most real to you? Where was he most alive? Did you feel him the most powerfully present in the Holy Land? And that's a tough question when you've been there, because there's a lot of places when you get to walk on the same ground and visit the cities and beyond the water of the Sea of Galilee, Jesus, it becomes very real in a big way. And today you're going to hear from a guy who went with his wife and his two kids, and they just had an awesome experience. And rather than me trying to set any of the stage and explain anything, basically there's an area outside of Jerusalem, and it's called the Mount of Olives. And on the Mount of Olives is what we understand as the Mount of Olives, but also the Garden of Gethsemane, along with a lot of other places. And it's a route that Jesus traveled often in and out of the city. The village of Bethany is just outside the city on that same road. And so I'm going to turn this over to Dr. John Mellema, and he is going to tell you a little bit about his experience. And I would absolutely love it if someday you decided to join me on one of the pilgrimages I take to the Holy Land in the years ahead. Enjoy.
I'm John Mellema. I, along with my wife Shayla, my daughter Lily, and my son Samuel, were fortunate enough to be able to go to the Holy Land on the tour along with the Open Door Christian Church back in February of this year. I was asked to come up with a small testimonial about one of the portions of the trip that was most impactful to me and my faith walk. There were, to be honest, multiple places and times that were very impactful, so it was hard to narrow it down, but one of the most impactful for me was the Garden of Gethsemane. Being there on the Mount of Olives and seeing the area where Jesus would have come in on his triumphal entry on Palm Sunday riding a donkey, as well as the actual orientation of the Mount of Olives to the city of Jerusalem and the Temple Mount was very helpful in not only just understanding how things flowed in the Holy Week, but also a lot of the sites became much more real that you read about in the New Testament. But being down at the Garden of Gethsemane, there are trees there, olive trees that are over 2,000 years old, so they would have been there at the time of Christ. And just actually walking among some of the trees that he would have been standing among or walking in with his disciples was incredible. And then the Church of All Nations is there, and that's right adjacent to the Garden of Gethsemane. In that church, there's a large rock that they built the church over that they believe was the rock that he was agonizing over the night of his betrayal and that he would have been sweating drops of blood on. To be there, to just actually see that rock, to kneel down and touch that rock and just feel that connection was amazing. Not that we worship sites or trees or rocks, but just being able to connect with what sometimes can feel like a detached story and just makes it real, to understand that Jesus is real, he lived, he died, he rose again, and this is not just some nice story. If you ever have a chance or an opportunity to go, I highly encourage it. It's worth every dollar, and I hope to go there again sometime. So I hope everyone stays safe and look forward to seeing you in church again as soon as we can.